Hello and welcome to this Focus On, where we'll be talking diamonds. My name is Tania Habimana and I'll be your host for this session. I'm joined by Ari Epstein, CEO at the Antwerp World Diamond Center. Looking at the future of the industry, where do you see the biggest opportunities?
I think the biggest opportunities for the industry are in traceability. I believe that, for us, it's quite interesting to see that the industry grows from, I would say, 20th century system for rough diamonds, which was a Kimberley process, going to the 21st century of full traceability of the value chain, where from mine to finger, we can actually follow a diamond. So he or she, the consumer, whenever they want to purchase a diamond, the ultimate symbol of love, a natural diamond to be gifted for any, big occasion in a person's life, that should be accompanied with a certificate of origin. So we know where these diamonds do good, where these diamonds actually added value in the value chain, making sure that these diamonds are mined in a correct way back to the mine. And I would say that probably one of the best examples of such transparent mining is Botswana. So I mean, we would be proud for any consumer to know that he or she buys the diamonds from Botswana, and this is the reason why we're here. And whilst traveling to Gaborone, we had multiple flights to take, and like any sensible Belgian, I always take my chocolates to be well prepared. So I went to Albertijn, bought a few bars of chocolate, and I actually looked at it, and I saw, this bar comes with cacao made in Tanzania or cacao from Uganda. So if it could be traceable for a product that is worth 70 cents or maybe $1, it should be the same for such an important ultimate symbol of love like diamonds. I think it's quite straightforward and easy, and I believe that any government initiative or private initiative that actually pushes our product towards traceability and more transparency is good and should be something we pursue as an industry, certainly in today's world. And I see that happening on a very short term. So I believe that this conference is, I would say, a little bit prophetic in the sense that we are now in an industry which really looks for solutions when it comes to G7 or other solutions for traceability. And I'm extremely happy and proud to have been invited to Botswana in the presence of His Excellency President Masire and Minister of Mines Moagi to bring together, I would say, the midstream and the retail with the most important mining continent in the world, and that is the African continent, and the biggest diamond producer in the world, which is Botswana.
Now, I note earlier you used the word natural diamonds. Now, of course, all the rage right now is synthetic diamonds. There's more and more talk about it as to its ethical implications, as to what it's doing to the industry. What is the position of the Antwerp World Diamond Center with regards to synthetic and lab-grown diamonds?
Well, we are at war with the synthetic diamond industry. As Antwerp, we are very clear. We aren't dubious about it. The synthetic diamond industry is surfing on the category marketing and on the marketing of the natural diamond brands and the natural diamond industry, and the build-up of so many years of good work which we have done. So we have nothing against the category of synthetic diamonds on itself, but we believe that it should be ethical, and more importantly, we should be honest with the end consumer. Natural diamonds do good to the African continent. Natural diamonds are here to support the African continent, create jobs, make sure that people have a livelihood. Synthetic diamonds do not achieve that on the African continent. On the contrary, they destroy value. We are the only trading center in the world that has been unambiguous about synthetic diamonds. We don't hold any marketing initiatives, any conferences for them. We are very binary when it comes to that. Synthetic diamonds have a place in the industry, but you can't sell a $250 synthetic diamond for $5,000 in the shops. That is unfair. That is cheating the consumer. We should be transparent. The profit margins in the natural diamond trade are well known to everybody. We know exactly what everybody makes, and you don't have these, places where people are just, taking a run for and just making sure that they get real value for their money. We are dealing in the most expensive legal product per weight category in the world, and that is natural diamonds, the ultimate symbol of love. Our love isn't synthetic to the African continent. Our love is natural. We have a natural friendship with Botswana, and this is the reason why we're here. And we will continue pushing that message out to the end consumer. That is, please make sure that you understand what you're buying. Please make sure you don't overpay your product when you buy synthetic diamonds. And make sure you buy a product that really helps the African continent, and that is what we are all about.
Fantastic. Now, in closing, I'd like to get your take. One of the key themes for the conference is around transformation in the industry and sustainability. How do you view the opportunity for developing sustainable models in the industry?
Well, I believe that's a very good question. I believe that when you look at the product we're dealing in, we need to make sure that the product we're dealing in is untainted, is really connected to the occasions for which is being given, and that is, the high moments in a person's life. And that should go through the whole stream of the diamond, to the whole value chain of the diamond from mine to finger. And how do we do that? We do that by adding value on the diamond producer side. We do that by beneficiation, making sure the diamonds are actually produced in the countries where they're actually mined. We do that by making sure, and this is super important, that everybody understands the correct pricing of diamonds, everybody understands correct assortment of diamonds, so they know what the natural resources are valued and what they have in their soil, in their own soil. We do that by trading diamonds for a fair price. We do that by making sure that the diamonds are traceable, knowing from which country they come from and where they're going to. And we do that by making sure that each and every part of the value chain receives a fair compensation for whatever it does. And certainly the consumer shouldn't be forgotten, because this is all about the end consumer. We as a diamond trade, as a diamond industry, are nothing without the confidence and the honor the end consumer gives us by purchasing our product, which is the ultimate symbol of love. And we should cherish that and respect that. And we can only do that by making sure we create that value in each part of the pipeline, and making sure we treat the consumer with the utmost respect, making sure he or she knows what he or she is buying.
We're going to speak to Mmetla Masire of Okavango Diamond Company of Botswana. How do you view the current markets? I mean, like you say, it is challenging, but how exactly, what are the biggest challenges that you're seeing?
I think it's multifaceted, multi issues. We obviously have the lab-grown diamonds playing a big part, but you do have the economies, especially the US economy and the Chinese economy, that are contributing in a negative way to the market, as much as the Indian economy is doing well. But generally, we know that the major consumers are the US, and China is also a significant consumer. So those are really the issues. I think we're also paying for the mistakes of post-COVID, when the industry bought a lot of diamonds, and a lot of people are sitting with too much inventory. So the industry has to normalize and bring things back to normality. So I think those are the contributions. So it's difficult to say which one and how much one contributes, but the sum total of all those issues are causing the challenges.
What are the key lessons that African producers can learn from the Botswana model?
Well, the Botswana model has really relied a lot on two factors. Yeah, I think one is the transparency that is associated. If you take the model of ODC, its really differentiator has been its transparent approach. We are the only organization that actually publishes its sales figures online and publishes the lots that it sold and its performance of the auction. So I think we are so transparent. So I think that's the first thing. Number two, I think it's demanding that you drive the beneficiation, but understanding that partnership with the other expertise are very important. So trying to do it all alone is not the way to go, but also letting it all be taken away from you is also not there. So the key is how do you find the right balance? And I would want to think Botswana is close to whatever the right balance is. And I think that's a lesson that others can also learn, because there's a lot of diamonds in Africa, and I think there's a lot of opportunities for people to better maximize the benefit they get from those diamonds.
Yeah, and that's one element that is talked about a lot, the element of traceability in the diamond industry. How do you think that can be done in the most optimal way?
I think the challenge up to now has really been that the various platforms have not been communicating with each other. So it has been very difficult, first of all, to adopt a model. And second of all, when you adopt a model, you find that not everybody uses it, so the retailers and everything. So I think the best way is really to try and get the industry to agree on standards, and for the various platforms to talk to each other.
And in terms of the future of the diamond industry, where do you see the biggest opportunities?
I think the biggest opportunities, if you're looking at it from a country perspective, it would be on the beneficiation and operating at the various parts of the value chain. That's really the single opportunity, because that will give an exponential return to the producer country. So that's the bigger opportunity from the producer country. From the industry at large, not looking at any country as per se, I think one of the biggest opportunity is for us to tell our story much better. Given the challenges that the synthetics are coming on board, I think it's important that people understand the transformation that diamonds are doing, the good that they are doing in various countries, and the fact that what it really means to produce and discover a diamond vis-a-vis what it actually means from a sustainability, the energy used in growing grown. I personally don't believe there should be necessarily an attack on each other. I believe that the opportunity is for us to tell our story and let the end user make an informed decision.
Yeah, and you mentioned sustainability, which is one of the key themes for this year, Diamonds for Change. How do you view that being done on the continent, and particularly in Botswana?
Yes, I think the theme Diamond for Change, I think it's good, because I think it talks to what I've just said, because what it does, it means we need to change how we view the diamonds. We need to change how we tell the story. We need to change because the synthetics are telling a story. They are coming out with their own agenda. They are telling their version of the story. So what are people hearing? They're hearing synthetic story. We need to now tell the natural story. So this is, I think, the change. I think we might have taken things for granted that the consumer knew, but now there's a new player. So we need to change how we play. So I think that's the real major change. I think the other change, especially from the producer countries, they really need to change in terms of how they maximize the beneficiation that they get from their diamonds. So I think the producer countries needs to change from that point of view.
Thank you so much for joining me, sir.
Thank you very much.
And that's it for this episode of Focus On, where we were focusing on Botswana's diamond industry.